Hi everyone. So you've had 2 days of taking pictures downtown, and now you're going to spend some time in Lightroom editing those pictures and exporting them to a folder on your hard drive. So there are tutorials for both of those processes, and you've got to follow those because that'll guide you through. And with all these tutorials, they're all on YouTube. And if I'm going too fast at any point or you miss something, pause and replay, play at a slightly slower speed, watch it and do it. It's all there. If you get stuck once you've gone through the tutorial, let me know, or Mrs. Brooke, if she's in the room, we can help you out. All right, so what you're going to be doing is you're going to be creating a poster that is 24 inches wide by 36 inches tall. And it's going to feature the photos other people have taken of you that you have edited and exported as JPEGs. So let me walk you through that process. On my desktop, I have a folder of photos, just like you should have a folder of photos that people have given you. I've just picked some random ones from the internet to do this with. And you need to find in your computer the application called Lightroom. Sorry, not Lightroom, InDesign. So let me just get a Finder window up here. I'll go to my applications, and it's Adobe, and it is InDesign. My version's 2020, yours might be slightly different, but they're all the same. Just click the InDesign logo. It also might be in the dock of your computer. And just give it a second to fire up. And here we go. This is InDesign. InDesign is a program that's used for layout, for magazine covers, posters, anything you want to do that's going to be something printed or something laid out. So like any Adobe program, I'm going to create new, and I'm going to make it a custom shape, and oh, it looks like here's my shape right here, 24 by 36. I click this, and I can just check, yep, 24 inches by 36. I'm working portrait. You can certainly work landscape sideways if you choose to. Either way works. I'm going to start by giving it a name. I'll call it me. And when we scroll down, we have margins. These margins are 3/4 of an inch. That should be plenty of space. I'll keep that. Bleed and slug, we don't need that. That's for printing to the very edge of a page. So I'm going to click Create. There, this is the document I'll be working on. Now, first thing I want to do is I want to know where this is going to be going. So I go up to File, Save, and I'm going to save it as, it's Dave, and I want to make sure it goes in the folder where my photos are. So for me, they're on my desktop in this folder. For you, they're probably in your hard drive. But anyway, start by having all of your photos in one folder, okay? Click Save, and you're ready to go. So let's start by putting in our photos. This is our space to work with, 24 by 36. To get my photos in, I'm going to go File, Place. And it's going to go to the last place I had photos. Now I don't want this folder, I want my folder that said Dave Meet. I use the word meet, by the way, because this is called Meet the Teams, okay? So these are my photos, and here's my first one right here. And I'm going to click Open. And you'll see that I have a tiny little version right attached to my cursor. Well, I'm going to start by putting this right up in the corner, and you'll see I can get right to the guides here. And I'm going to click. Now, whoa, that's a massive photo. I want to make sure that this little reference point thing is grayed out in the top left corner. And that's so that when I make this photo smaller, it's going to go up there. Okay? Let's make it smaller so I can work with it. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to come right here, and I'm going to make it be about 50%. You'll see now it's kind of much smaller. I can see everything here, okay? Let's look at InDesign for a second. This top toolbar is like other toolbars for programs. File, edit, layout, and there's a lot here. One of the ones I use a lot is view, and it's really simple. If I want to zoom out or zoom in, it's just simply the command key with either the plus or minus. They use equals, but plus or minus. So maybe I want to zoom out a little bit. I want to see my whole page and this. Maybe that's too far. I can just push command and plus, and here I am. Well, now I can grab a corner of this photo, but watch what happens if I just grab a corner. It totally changes the aspect ratio of my photo. So I don't want to do that. I want to grab a corner, but I want to hold the Shift key down. And now as I bring it up, it's going to maintain the same aspect ratio of this photo. So I can let go. Let me do that one more time. I'm going to hold the Shift key down and grab this corner. And as I drag it up, it maintains the same essential shape. So here's the start of my poster. I'm going to start with one photo right up in this corner, okay? Let's go back to my view. I'm going to make my photo a little smaller. Again, I'm holding the Shift key, and I'm bringing it in a little bit. And now you'll see, I only see a piece of my photo. So I can right-click or command-click and go to Fitting. And this is the big thing you'll be doing with these. I can fill the frame proportionally. Now, there's my photo. It's all there. I haven't changed the ratio of height to width. It still looks the same, and it's good to go. Now, I can put my cursor on it when I'm on this top tool, the pointer tool, and I can move it to different places. So maybe I decide that I actually want this photo placed over here. Well, I can do that. All right? Now, I like to save a lot, and just simply Command S, or just go File, Save. It looks like it just saved. And I know right where it is. Let's import another photo. Here's the process. File, Place. I go to my photos. I'm going to use this one right here. And I click Open. And whoops, it looks like I did something. And you know what I actually did? Was I replaced my photo. Let me show you why. I'm going to hit Command Z once, twice. Okay. What I did was my photo was already selected. So I don't want to do that yet. I want to make sure that I am actually deselecting my photo. I'm going to push the V key, and that gives me this pointer. And now I'm going to click anywhere else. Okay, now my photo will not be replaced. Now let's go to File, Place. I'm going to grab that photo one more time. Open. I'm going to make sure that this is selected up to the top bar here. And I'm going to go ahead and place it. I'm just going to place it right here. And again, you'll see that my photo is really huge. I can't even see the person. So one of the first things I want to do, let's get back to V. And one of the first things I want to do is I want to select my photo, just click it. And I want to come right down here. And I want to make it significantly smaller so I can really work with it. Okay? So when I want to get to this pointer tool, if I want to move something around, I need to be on this tool. And I can just push V to get there. So I'm going to put it right up here, and that's kind of cool. That's a pretty big photo. It's a little too big for this. So I want to make it definitely much smaller. Again, I'm going to hold the Shift key down. And you'll see as I make it smaller, see how that, or bigger, see how that aspect ratio stays the same? All right? And then I'm going to go right-click or control-click, go to Fitting, and fill the frame proportionally. And that's my photo. Now, with pictures like this, I don't want them to be too far apart like this, but I also don't want them to be jammed together. So when I'm arranging pictures, I try to keep a pretty even distance between every image. And what's neat is that Adobe will keep that distance for you. It'll help you do that. Let me show you by placing one more picture. I can just go File, Place, or I can hit Command D. And whoops, I don't want to replace this picture, so let's click off. They're deselected. So we'll go to File, Place. And this time I'll grab this one. Again, I'm making sure that I have a reference point selected so I know where my photo is going to go. Click Open. I'm going to place it right there. Again, I'm selected, so there's my photo, and I'm going to drop it way down. And let's make this one a little smaller too. I'm going to hold the Shift key down just like I've been doing, and I'll make it pretty small. This is the size about I want my photo, so I'm going to Control-click and go to Fitting. I'm going to go to Fill Frame Proportionally, and that's my picture. I'm on the pointer tool, so I'm going to drag this right up here. Now, you'll see that if I drop it in place, you'll see that I have two gaps here, like this little gap and this little gap, and they're not quite the same. So I'm just going to grab this photo in the center, and I'm going to adjust it. And see how I moved it a tiny bit and these little green lines appeared at the bottom of it? That's now telling me that it is evenly spaced between those two photos. Okay? That can be really helpful. And I'm going to save my work. And I'm going to do one last one for you. Then I'll show you something else. Let's see what this photo's about. So, whoops, I think I missed it. Let's get it, File. Whoops, here's what I did. I just replaced this photo again. So let's undo that. Let's place it. Well, I need to hit the V key to get rid of it. Click anywhere. I'm all deselected. Go to File, Place. I'll grab that same photo. I'll click Open. And I'm going to come right here. And I'll place it. And again, it's really big, so I'm just going to go right here. I'm going to go to 25%. And I'm going to make my whole page smaller because it's getting a little bigger. And I've got a couple things going on. So the first thing I'm going to do, since I'm working with this photo, is I'm going to hold the Shift key down and make it much, much smaller. This looks like I placed a photo accidentally, so I'll delete that. And let's now move this into place. And see how these guidelines appear? That green line now is telling me I'm right in the center of those two photos. This is now telling me the edge is at the center of the page. So maybe I'll do something like this. Okay, let's get a better view. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to command click this, or I'm sorry, control click or right click. Go to Fitting and Fill Frame Proportionally. And here's this photo. So now I can place it anywhere I want, and it will give me kind of some guides to work with. So I'm going to place this photo over here. You'll see that it's helping me line up again. All right, and I'll click off. I think this photo I'm going to bring down a little bit and look at the guidelines appearing. It's kind of helping me out. And maybe this photo I'm going to bring in a little bit like that. And maybe I'll find like a medium. See that green line, that horizontal green line? It now tells me I'm in the middle of that middle photo, and that's kind of a nice mini design. All right, so that's the start of laying out photos. But one other thing I want to do is I want to put like my name here somewhere. And I don't just want to put my name little, but I would like to put my name like pretty decent size. So I'm going to make a box and pop it right there. I'm going to click the text tool. Just simply click once. I have a little icon. And I'm going to say photos, hit a return by Dave Boardman. And I can't even see this type, but I know what I typed. I'm going to come up here. I'm on the little A for type. And I'm going to come right here, and I'm going to get to a decent size, about maybe 24 point. Maybe I'll do like 36 point, maybe a little bigger. I'll play with the font. This looks interesting. I like Cubano. This is my new one that I like. And it has a italic. Looks kind of cool. This box is way too big, so I'm going to type the hit the V key, or click this little pointer. I'll make my box a little smaller. I can play with that size. I think my text is a little small, so I'm going to click the T again. I'll highlight my text, come back up here, and let's make it 48 point. And you know what else? I think I want to center it in this box, so I'll come over here and center it. Now I have a little box with my name and photos by. Now in your case, you're not doing a box that is photos by, because these are by different people, but you're doing something on our theme of Meet the Team. And we'll talk about what that could look like a little later. But save some space for a good text box. It'll say something like, Meet the Team, Dave Boardman. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe I'll put a return there. And you'll see I lost my name. I can just simply hit the pointer again, and there I go. All right, I'm going to play around with this a little more, and we'll try to come up with a standard style or something cool that you can use so that we all look kind of cool together. Okay, make sure you save your work as you go. And when you close up, I'm just going to close InDesign for a moment. When I come back in and I want to work on this more, I just need to go to my folder for this, Dave Meet, and there's my InDesign project right there. And here it is. All right, so jump in, see what you do, watch this, follow along, ask questions. See ya.